Dillian the Body Snatcher right here. It's a champ. Big up to Sporting Icon. Subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
Okay, so in this video, we're going to be talking about Tyson Fury, the WBC and Ring Magazine World Heavyweight Champion, the Gypsy King, the superstar, the Superman, the man who sold 85,000 tickets on his name alone. 85,000 tickets were sold to people who have no idea who Dillian Whyte is. They don't view this fight as the biggest all-British world heavyweight title clash since Lennox Lewis and Frank Bruno. No. They bought tickets, didn't even look at who it is that Tyson Fury's fighting. They have no idea that Dillian Whyte has been waiting for the longest time, and finally he's going to get his WBC World Heavyweight Championship fight. They haven't even looked at that. It's all about Tyson Fury. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. So a lot of you will enjoy this video, and I say a lot of you because most of you still have the same common sense that you were born with. You have the ability to think for yourself. You have the ability to be a leader. Most of you are leaders in your life. You don't run around the internet repeating everything that it is that Tyson Fury says, like "Dotter, no man born of his mother," Freddie White knickers, and all these kind of other things that Tyson Fury says. You don't do that, so you are going to enjoy this video because you like facts, you like the truth. Unfortunately, there is a section of Tyson Fury's fanatical fans, and I call them fanatical fans because the broader perspective, of course, is Tyson Fury's fans has quality fans. But unfortunately for you, there is a section of them who spoil it for you. They make people dislike Tyson Fury because of their infatuation, their love of him. In fact, they will already be commenting on this video at some point saying, Tyson Fury hater, Dillian Whyte lover, blah, 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 because they can't think of anything else, because they don't have the brain power to break down anything that is I say and counteract it with a fact, because they don't know facts. They have narratives. So that said, we're going to talk about Tyson Fury and the man who sold 85,000 tickets on his own. Had nothing to do with Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte didn't turn up to the press conference, even though Dillian Whyte's name is trending. Even though I've been saying for the past few months, this fight doesn't need the build-up. It doesn't need the press conferences, it doesn't need all the backwards and forwards on Twitter and all that kind of stuff, as much as we would love it, and it would be brilliant and exciting if they did it. But in reality, this fight sells itself because it's Fury versus Whyte. People want to see this fight. But cast your minds back. Cast your minds back. And this is where it's really going to hurt some of these fanatics' feelings, to the point where they're going to stand up and their tampax is going to fall out, where I say, during the negotiations and prior to the negotiations with Dillian Whyte, Bob Arum, Frank Warren, Tyson Fury were talking about everybody else except Dillian Whyte, right? They were looking at Tyson Fury having a return to the United Kingdom, a homecoming, the return of the Mac against a Joe Joyce, against a Robert Helenius, against a Manuel Charr, and Ajit Cabiel. Maybe even return to Las Vegas and take on Andy Ruiz Jr. Correct? Please stop me when I lie. Well, you ain't going to stop me because I don't lie. I'll tell you all the truth. Here's the extra bit. Frank Warren had booked the Manchester Arena for March, was it March 26th? Something like that, I think it was. Frank Warren had already booked the Manchester Arena for Tyson Fury's return against one of these opponents. Joe Joyce, Ajit Cabiel, etc., etc. Now, if Tyson Fury is this big superstar who has sold 85,000 tickets with hundreds of thousands more people in the queue and all the potential record-breaking pay-per-view sales that it may well do, and had nothing to do with the fact he's fighting Dillian Whyte, then why did he book the Manchester Arena? Why didn't he just book Wembley? Oh, what? Oh, right, okay. Could it be because he's fighting Dillian Whyte? Yes, of course it is. Pretty logical, right? Common sense, right? Now, is Tyson Fury a big name in boxing? Well, of course he is. If you like boxing, you follow boxing, then you know who Tyson Fury is. For those of you who managed to, and are lucky enough to have got tickets, and apparently there were 30,000 of them, were all down to bots or external sites or whatever the hell it was, I don't know. Again, this is just rumour, by the way. We don't know this for a fact. Maybe Eddie Hearn is just pushing out some narratives. I have no idea. But do you really think that all these people had no idea who Dillian Whyte is? Do you? Of course they do. Of course they do. Do Do you think it needed to build up the press conference and all that kind of thing? Dillian Whyte's name is trending all over social media. People have been calling for Dillian Whyte to get a WBC World Heavyweight title shot for the longest time. Myself at the front of the queue of all of that. Don't know who Dillian Whyte is. Really? Do you think all the polls that I've done, many other people have done across the world, all over social media, asking who do you want to win between Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte, when the majority of them said they want Dillian Whyte to win, but none of these people managed to buy tickets. None of them. In fact, everybody forgot that it was Dillian Whyte that he was fighting and bought tickets to go watch Tyson Fury. Do you really think so? Or do you think that this fight is at Wembley Stadium, potentially at least in front of 100,000, let's hope that it is because it's Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte? Can any of you fanatics admit that? Can any of you see that yet? Or do you still want to say it's all on Tyson Fury's name? Because if it was all on Tyson Fury's name, then why did Frank Warren book the Manchester Arena? But why didn't he book Wembley Stadium for Tyson Fury versus Ajit Kabiel? Tyson Fury versus Joe Joyce? Why didn't he book Wembley Stadium for that? Why? Why the Manchester Arena? Tell you why. Because he was only going to sell the Manchester Arena. He ain't going to sell out Wembley Stadium without Dillian Whyte in the other corner. He ain't going to sell out Wembley Stadium without Anthony Joshua in the other corner. It has to be one of those two names. It has to be. There's not another boxer on the planet that Tyson Fury can fight that would fill out Wembley Stadium. There isn't. Here's another fact. Tyson Fury, an hour before the press conference, walked through the train station in London. Nobody recognised him. Not my opinion, fact. Dillian Whyte has earned this WBC World Heavyweight title shot, and people want to see him get it. Win, lose or draw, they want to see him get that world title shot. They do. Now, you can run around saying Tyson Fury is the biggest name in on the planet. Of course, really what they're trying to do is they want to push Tyson Fury's name into the same bracket as an Anthony Joshua or Saul Canelo Alvarez. Some of them trying to say beyond it. Because the truth is, Canelo, Anthony Joshua can literally fight anybody and sell out Wembley Stadium. They could. Any stadium pretty much in the world, any arena in the world, they could do that. And they want Tyson Fury to get that same recognition. Because in their mind, it's like they've won the lottery if Tyson Fury could do that. So let's just say Tyson Fury could do that. So if Tyson Fury is this big superstar, does that mean that he's paying for your bills? Does it? So why are you all excited? Do you no longer have to worry about your mortgage, your rent, your electric, putting food in the cupboards? Because Tyson Fury is going to cover all that for you. You've just won the lottery. So why are you running around celebrating for? Why does it make a difference? Why are you running around saying that this is all on Tyson Fury's back? Why? We know why Frank Warren's doing it, obviously, because he's employed by Tyson Fury. He's doing his job. Tyson Fury is doing his job of selling himself. Of course he is. But go back to the point. Why did Frank Warren hire out the Manchester Arena? Why? Why didn't he book Wembley Stadium? Why didn't he book any other stadium? Old Trafford in Manchester. Why didn't he book Anfield in Liverpool? Why didn't he book St James's Park in Newcastle? Why didn't he book the Millennium Stadium, Principality Stadium in Cardiff, Wales? Why didn't he do all that? Why the arena? A small arena. I love the arena, by the way. I think it's a beautiful arena. But why did he book the arena? Because he wasn't fighting Dillian Whyte. They didn't want him to fight Dillian Whyte. They didn't. They didn't. But as soon as Dillian Whyte agreed to fight, guess what? Wembley Stadium. That's why it's a super fight. That's why it's a super fight. You may not like the truth. It may hurt your feelings. It may make your nipples sore. It makes no difference. You can't change the facts. Facts are facts. Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte is the mega fight. Tyson Fury against a Joe Joyce, against anybody else other than Anthony Joshua, is not a mega fight. Tyson Fury has been struggling to sell tickets. Tyson Fury's pay-per-view numbers have been flopping. Granted, because they have been in America. Granted, because they have been silly o'clock in the morning for us here in the UK. So obviously the pay-per-views ain't going to be as high as what they would be on prime time on a Saturday night. Granted. But here's the other thing. He defeats Deontay Wilder. Great. What? Was Deontay Wilder a big superstar? No, people in his own country didn't even know him. So what makes you think people here in the UK knew him? And that's what made Tyson Fury a superstar. Okay. Anyway, as I said, most of you would already have known this. Most of you would already have the common sense, still have the common sense. Most of you will probably still be supporting Tyson Fury, and that's cool. I have no problems with that. If Tyson Fury beats Dillian Whyte, congratulations to him. As much as I'm a huge Dillian Whyte fan, I can say congratulations. That's a hell of a win. You managed to get Dillian Whyte on your resume. That's a hell of a win. I can give him credit. Unfortunately, these little numpties, they can't. And they set themselves up for a fall. Because what if Dillian Whyte beats him? Tyson Fury loses to a bum. So have you been backing the wrong horse all this time? That Tyson Fury maybe weren't that good? Because quite clearly, he just lost to a bum. Drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up. Subscribe. Catch you on the next video.